simplify, and execute. This is my decision-making matrix.
Explain to people.
No, it's really not about assigning blame or pointing fingers. It's about taking responsibility. The expectations are huge, but she's also got an amazing track record.
If you get me talking about Libby Gill, we're going to be here all day. From having walked in those shoes, Libby Gill is one of those people who gets it.
Here is my process, because I think we tend to overcomplicate everything. Clarify, simplify, and execute. This is my decision-making matrix. You plug in the relevant data. You clarify the vision. What is it we are trying to accomplish? You simplify the path. Let's make it clear and simple and take all the extraneous out of the way.
Libby did a great job. She came in today, very inspiring, and I think for me personally, she really inspired me to go out and take more risk and just prove myself.
Hope is that sense of you can leap forward, you can move forward despite the obstacles. And this really comes from a body of research. Interestingly, there is a study on hope. It's called a hope theory that is growing, and it comes mostly out of medicine and positive psychology. And some of the early pioneers in this idea of hope have really defined it and given us a working definition so we can apply it to our own lives. And the first one is a really amazing doctor named Jerome Groopman. Dr. Groopman is a Harvard oncologist, and he was one of the early pioneers in AIDS and cancer research, and also in the theory of hope. And what he found, and there's been a lot of study subsequently about this, is that it's not this just abstract idea of hope, but hope, in fact, affects our physiology, and when we have a sense of hopefulness, we release brain chemicals, including endorphins and enkephalins, that allow us to suppress pain, that boost our immune system, that help us to handle these sorts of healing situations. So what Dr. Groopman said is he found hope to be made up of belief and expectation. Now, belief that change is possible. Then what I see in the workplace is that it's our beliefs that drive our behavior. Think about that. Because what you believe is what you do. Your belief drives your behavior. Now, the tricky part is we don't always know our own beliefs, let alone the beliefs that other people have, because sometimes these are underlying beliefs. They're not obvious. And what I find as a coach is I'm often called into the workplace when somebody's gone off the rails a little bit, and sometimes I have to find out what's the root cause, what's at the bottom of this.
Libby is so clear and concise in providing direction to future women leaders on what they need to focus on and how they can become the best leaders possible.
We sometimes become slave to our own thoughts, and we forget the rest of the world has their preferences too. Let me show you what I mean. Clasp your hands like this right now. Just cross your hands. Now, look down. See if your left thumb is on top or your right thumb. Okay? Raise your hand if you're a right thumb on top person. Raise your hand high, okay. Now raise your thumb if you, raise your thumb. Raise your hand if you're a left thumb on top. We split about 50-50. It really doesn't have anything to do with hand dominance. Okay, now I want you to switch it. Switch it and put that other thumb on top. Does that feel weird? It's really hard to do. Okay, now try this. Cross your arms. Now, some people tuck the hand, some people have it on top. Okay, now leave your arm crossed. Look over at your neighbor. See if they're like you, if they're different from you. Okay, now here's what's really interesting. Those of you with the left arm on top, congratulations, because you have the gene for leadership ability. You have a very strong connection. Those of you with the right arm, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, there are many other things you can't know. I made that up, of course. Okay. You're scientists. I can't outsmart you. All right, these are preferences. These are preferences that we choose early in life, And they just don't waver too much. But my point is, you're all great leaders, definitely. My point is that our preferences are so strong. We become so wedded to them, it's difficult to change. And the interesting thing is, everybody else's preferences are just that strong, and they're just as resistant to change.
She was a terrific speaker. She's energetic. She's dynamic, and really the feedback that we got from our clients was that she energized them into better taking action and also being accountable for those actions, and I would recommend her to anyone.
When I started at Universal, I was recruited to go there after a big management change, and the company had been sold, the Universal Studios had been sold to Seagram's, the booze company. It makes sense, right? We make liquor, we're going to buy a studio. And every business unit had changed. Motion pictures, television, music, theme parks, consumer products, all new management. As you can imagine, there were a whole lot of nervous people. Most people do not like change. They don't like repeated, continued, ongoing change. It's really scary. That's not how we're wired. My job as head of communications for the television group was to come in and pull people together, because I handle both the internal and external communications. So I set up meetings, 15-minute meetings. My calendar was filled for about the first month with meetings with anybody who touched the TV business. This was financial executives, the guys, the carpenters in the wood mill, costume designers, producers, the talent, anybody that had anything to do with our business, because I wanted to get out and meet them. But I went out and met with the people, and what I found repeatedly was that people thought, it's not my job. We don't work together. There's no reason that I should let you into the mix. It didn't matter that I was head of communication. So what I had to do was find a way to bring them in, to make my success their success, and make us part of a team. And pretty soon, the agendas melded. The silos went away, and we were there working together. We all had a shared purpose. It was that idea of sharing the success, sharing the accomplishment, the creativity, giving other people authority for making up ideas that would work. And we were able to blend that together and share success.
Excellent. Very, very good.
Inspirational.
Fabulous.
Very easy to listen to. She painted the picture that I could follow.